Generico, Mr. Wrestling Kevin Steen, and the phenomenal AJ Styles. I was calling AJ Styles. I don't know why. And in a four-way match, which at the time was for number one contendership at All-Star Weekend, but is now for number one contendership tonight, as Tony Stradlin was signed by WWE actually to a developmental contract, and good luck to him, we must say, and unfortunately had to pull out of his PWG tag team or PWG title match with Super Dragon, and we were forced to make this. The winner of this match gets a shot later this night, and so all four men know that they must be on the top of their game, and it went from elimination style rules to first fall ruling, and so now that even puts even more urgency in this match, where there will be no teamwork. Every man is out for the win, out for the victory, and they will do whatever it takes to get that victory here in this four-way match.
That's right, and a highly anticipated match, as well as four of the best talents in independent wrestling are standing in the PWG ring.
One of the best talents in professional wrestling.
That's right.
Period.
That's right.
And we see El Generico, who actually lost last month to the debuting Alex Shelley, but was impressive enough to yourself on the PWG title committee, which I believe consisted of you, your son, and your cat.
That's
and was able to be put in this match for number one contendership. And Christopher Daniels has been on an impressive streak here in PWG, actually defeating Kevin Steen last month. And this is how this match came about, was that Kevin Steen felt that he was cheated by Christopher Daniels, that Daniels came away with an unfair victory, and that he demanded that he have a rematch with Christopher Daniels, and that he have a title shot somewhere down the line. And he said, hey, Kevin Steen, there's two birds with one stone. Not only will you have a rematch with AJ Styles, receiving a huge ovation here, and his first match back in PWG since I believe the anniversary show was going to shoot.
Yes, it is. That is right.
Where he faced and beat Rocky Romero the last time we saw him in PWG.
And it's kind of an ironic twist here. Christopher Daniels has no love lost for AJ Styles.
Indeed, he does not. These two men are fierce rivals in TNA wrestling.
And El Generico and Kevin Steen have never been on the same page. So this is a title match, but also a bit of a grudge match in a sense.
Indeed, it is. And all four of these men have met in various forms and conditions throughout the past year or so, but this is the first time they will be facing off with one another in a match of this sort. And El Generico and Kevin Steen know each other very, very well. They know the ins and outs of each other's game, much like AJ Styles and Christopher Daniels know the ins and outs of each other's of their games.
That's right.
And so it'll be very interesting to see if Kevin Steen will try to gain some sort of advantage on El Generico, or he'll try to gain some sort of advantage on AJ Styles or Christopher Daniels, who have more experience than him, but may be less familiar with him and more susceptible to some sort of surprise attack. And the same could be said for anybody else in this match.
That's right. And
we saw last month Daniels surprising Kevin Steen with our roll-up.
That's right. And El Generico on their debut in PWG, surprising also Kevin Steen. Like, he thought he had that match in hand, and El Generico had beat him. So
indeed. And now Kevin Steen just joined with El Generico, joined with the fans. Rick Knox saying, and two other men who've never seen the same page. Rick Knox and Kevin Steen.
Never.
Kevin Steen, known for bending the rules. He likes to do things his own way. And Rick Knox, not very appreciative of that. Rick Knox, as we repeatedly said, by the book, consummate professional. Kevin Steen, he can come off as a bit cocky, a bit arrogant at times, and is not very by the books. Plays with an unorthodox rule book and does things however he sees fit.
That's absolutely true. El Generico from Tijuana, Mexico. I know you don't like the Mexicans, so would you have to be low in your? You're not really rooting for him, are you?
I am not. Of everybody in this match, I am rooting for El Generico the least, and that is behind Rick Knox. I would like to see Rick Knox win this match before I'd like to see El Generico win this match. And a very interesting thing about El Generico, native of Tijuana, Mexico, currently resides in Montreal, Canada, speaks French, French Canadian, speaks Spanish, French Canadian Mexican, doesn't speak a lick of English.
That's amazing to me.
It's
for such a worldly man not to speak English.
It's
or know anything about English.
English, which is the key to the modern world. And I was backstage the first time I met El Generico. I seemed to strike up a conversation with him. I was talking about the weather, talking about I love airplanes and astronomy and astrology, and my love of cooking. And
that I didn't know.
I love to cook.
Oh, okay.
I don't think I have to add anything more than that.
Okay.
I love to cook. What can I say? But El Generico stood there for a good 20 to 25 minutes and nodding his head, seemingly in agreement with what I was saying, and then just said, "Okay." And I said, "What? You mean you don't speak English?" And he said, "Quoi?" And that was it.
Wow.
He said what in 2 languages that I don't speak, and that was the end to our conversational career. El Generico spinning through, taking Kevin Steen down with that arm drag, and now Kevin Steen tagging out Christopher Daniels, who didn't seem to expect to be tagged in there. But that is one of the things you take in a match like this, a four corners, four-way match. You can be tagged in at any time by anybody.
That's right. That's right, and it's actually to your advantage to be in the ring because you can only score a pinfall if you're in the ring
by being the legal man.
That's right.
And as we know, the first pinfall in this match wins. Now AJ Styles asking to be tagged in. Christopher Daniels, AJ Styles, these two bitter enemies looking to face off, but no. Christopher Daniels out of the ring, saying he is not going to lock up with AJ Styles just yet. He's not going to jeopardize his future in this match. He's not going to jeopardize a PWG title shot by facing off with AJ Styles.
And now he's just playing. He just has to be playing the mind games here because Christopher Daniels knows darn well that he can match up against AJ Styles. But and now tags back in El Generico.
Christopher Daniels, maybe a bit coming off a bit all rockets go, and it's backfiring on him as El Generico able to reverse with that arm drag.
The arm drag.
The great equalizer.
That's right. Much like the eye rake or the eye poke, the arm drag, you're always going to be on top.
Whether you're 10 feet tall or 2 feet tall, the arm drag will take you.
That's right.
I once saw one of your favorite basketball players, Earl Boykins, he arm dragged the Albany. And again, we see El Generico with another arm drag, taking Christopher Daniels off of his feet. Christopher Daniels, experienced in the Lucha Libre style. You'd be remiss to think that is his forte, but he does know a thing or two about Lucha Libre, as you can see there by an arm drag. But El Generico hangs on and reverses. But El Generico, he started his career in Lucha Libre. The entire basis of his wrestling ability is from Lucha Libre.
He is a generic luchador.
He is indeed. And Christopher Daniels, while he is familiar with Lucha Libre, doesn't know the ins and outs of it as El Generico does. And maybe that's where El Generico has an advantage over Christopher Daniels.
El Generico training in many back rooms and
garages and
alleys in Mexico. And that's where he learned.
And if you've ever seen an alley in Mexico, I would not want to go there.
It's all alleys.
Mexico is one urine-soaked alley. And you know, a funny thing I must bring up about El Generico, the time he's spent in Montreal, Canada, I would say that he has had to have been there for most of his life, because he is not as dark as most Mexicans you see.
You know, that is, I never took that in consideration. I don't judge a man by his skin, so I never saw that.
I see. And now AJ Styles tags into El Generico. Could we see Christopher Daniels and AJ Styles mix it up for the first time tonight? And a bit hesitant, Christopher Daniels, and they're tagging out to Kevin Steen, playing the mind games on AJ Styles. AJ Styles looking displeased. You know AJ Styles, there is no love lost between the two. And you know he wants to get his hands around the neck of Christopher Daniels. And every time Daniels tags out, it just extends that the period of anticipation just a bit more. And now Kevin Steen calling for a handshake from AJ Styles. Some uncharacteristic sportsmanship. And Kevin Steen on the receiving end of a slap to the face. AJ Styles, maybe in this match he knows that this is for the PWG Championship, but he knows that he can't afford to take any risk. Kevin Steen could have just as easily pulled him in and sucker punched AJ Styles. So maybe he just wants to get the jump on Kevin Steen and to get that shot, to get AJ Styles a shot at the PWG Championship.
And now AJ Styles with that side headlock being rolled over into a pin. You're not going to beat AJ Styles with a quick pin like that, but oh wow, and really wrenching it in there.
Going to work on the neck of Kevin Steen, that thick football player-esque neck of Kevin Steen.
That's right. Is he? Remember he had to try out for the Montreal Alouettes.
He is a big supporter of the Montreal Alouettes. Unfortunately, did not make the main team. Was on their center squad.
And out with because he had a bad knee, as you can see that knee brace.
That's right, and he actually did his career highlight was scoring a sack on Doug Flutie.
Phenomenal. I believe that he was part of a Rouge. And that is a very rare play in Canadian football. Look it up on the internet, kids.
Now Kevin Steen he's got the leg scissors on AJ Styles' head, but you can see that thick knee brace that Kevin Steen wears on his knee. In football, they call that type of knee brace a can opener because that'll get hooked on the football helmet and pop that helmet right off. And so that thick metal knee brace on the back of AJ Styles' head, perhaps doing more damage than a normal head scissors would do on the mat.
I did not know that. Did you learn that on the Discovery Channel?
No, actually, I learned it on the CBC, the Canadian Broadcasting Channel. And CBC actually owned by the Canadian government. It's the only government-approved programs that go on CBC.
Canada is so screwed up.
They certainly are. And AJ Styles blocking the hip toss attempt by Kevin Steen, but Kevin Steen one step ahead, kneeing AJ Styles in the gut, and a clubbing blow across the chest. Now a chop across the chest, shooting AJ Styles into the ropes. Goes for a clothesline. AJ Styles ducks under, and a swinging arm drag, yanking Kevin Steen right off his feet. A second arm drag from AJ Styles. AJ Styles is fired up. So is this crowd, firmly behind AJ Styles, rooting for him to get a shot at Super Dragon and the PWG Championship later on this evening.
And actually, any of these four men against Super Dragon for the PWG Championship would be outstanding.
Christopher Daniels playing some mind games on Kevin Steen and AJ Styles, faking a tag in, and now AJ Styles tagging in El Generico. El Generico getting ready to go to work on Kevin Steen, and now, the jabs. He's shucking and jiving, Disco Machine.
That's right.
This is not something you often see out of Mexican Canadians.
That's right. They're not known for their punches.
Ole, indeed. And Kevin Steen, the great Canadian equalizer, the thumb to the eyes, taking El Generico off of his game, and now offering his hand to Christopher Daniels. Now Christopher Daniels tagging into this match, and both men backing Generico into the ropes, shooting Generico off. Double hip toss. Unprecedented teamwork, but then it just backfired on Kevin Steen as he was on the receiving end of a lariat by Christopher Daniels.
And now, Christopher Daniels going for that vertical suplex. Up and down.
El Generico down to the mat, Disco Machine.
Almost a brainbuster, which is actually El Generico's move.
El Generico's finishing maneuver. We've seen him use it multiple times here in PWG. Also, that brainbuster off the to the top rope is something that must be watched out for by the other three competitors in this match. Anybody is susceptible to that brainbuster on the top rope, and as soon as Generico hits that, the match is over with, I think.
That's right. Now Kevin Steen snap suplex over 1, 2, a lateral press, and Kevin Steen dropping the elbow on the back of the head, and now a leg drop.
Kevin Steen, a very back-to-basics approach to professional wrestling right here, showing El Generico that you don't need arm drags and flippy-doodles and brainbusters on the top rope to win a match. When a well-placed elbow or a well-placed knee will just do the same for you.
That's right. He is Mr. Wrestling. So that's right. He uses leg drops and kicks.
That's very true. And Mr. Wrestling, like we were saying before, he does have his very own textbook filled with his own crib notes. He's kind of modified the textbook of professional wrestling as he sees fit, and that is worked out to his advantage thus far in this match. Until El Generico reverses into a beautiful Northern Light suplex, 2 count only, is Kevin Steen able to kick out.
El Generico getting back the tide that he had lost. Oh, but the eye rake again by Mr. Wrestling. Oh, look at that.
Now AJ Styles tagging himself into the match. Oh, savage toe kick to the eye of El Generico, and that may be all it'd take. You've seen boxing matches end with one well-placed punch, and I believe one well-placed kick to the face could just end a wrestling match just as easily, Disco Machine.
And now AJ Styles in full control of El Generico.
You can see El Generico's legs a bit rubbery after that kick to the face, a bit unsteady on his feet, looking like he's on his spaghetti legs. And now El Generico reverses. Maybe I spoke too soon, but AJ Styles looking for a reversal, and he does hit a reversal into an arm wringer, and now working his way through on El Generico. El Generico trying to break out of that into a side headlock. Now AJ Styles in a side headlock from El Generico, backs him into the ropes. AJ Styles shoots him off, leapfrogs over. AJ Styles dives at the feet of El Generico and hits a picture-perfect dropkick right on the button. Again, taking El Generico out of his head and just putting him down on the mat. AJ Styles only able to get a 2 count that time on El Generico.
AJ Styles with a beautiful dropkick, and now going for a suplex of his own, but it's blocked again by El Generico.
Disco Machine, you want to hear a true story?
Yes.
I visited Orlando, Florida very recently. Went on a bit of a vacation there, and savage neckbreaker by AJ Styles. And Christopher Daniels got the blind tag. AJ Styles a bit frustrated because Christopher Daniels is now the legal man. AJ Styles not at liberty or is unable to score the pinfall. And now Christopher Daniels picking up where AJ Styles left off. El Generico very dazed, barely able to kick out. But as I was saying, I forgot to send my father a postcard from Orlando, Florida. So I just got a picture of AJ Styles dropkick, and I mailed that to him. And my dad said,
Picture perfect.
Indeed. And now Christopher Daniels pulling back on the jaw of El Generico. El Generico, you can see his eyes are just rolling around like quarters in a 10-gallon bucket. And El Generico, I would be surprised if he knew what country he is in, let alone where exactly he was. And now Christopher Daniels. El Generico very slow to get out. Christopher Daniels trying to pick him up, but Generico charging into the corner in a desperation attempt. Now Kevin Steen tags himself in, going to work on Christopher Daniels, putting elbows and forearms and fists to the face and jaw of Christopher Daniels. Now a chop to the chest of Christopher Daniels. Christopher Daniels is holding on to the top rope, trying to keep himself afloat, but El Generico not even able to get to his feet, and Kevin Steen just unceremoniously dumps him out of this ring. And now Kevin Steen choking Christopher Daniels over the middle rope, and referee Rick Knox administering the 5 count, and now leaning over Christopher Daniels again, choking him, Disco Machine. And Christopher Daniels, you can see that those choke maneuvers have taken a lot out of him. I spoke too soon as he's firing back right on Kevin Steen. Those elbows to the side of the face, but Kevin Steen cuts off any attempt at a comeback that Christopher Daniels might make with a well-placed point of the elbow to the back of Christopher Daniels' head.
Snapmare, and now
he's got him in the straitjacket, placing the knee in the upper back of Christopher Daniels, cranking back with Christopher Daniels' own arms across his chin and neck.
And now the crowd getting behind Christopher Daniels, and Kevin Steen really wrenching it in at this point. Oh, and a kick to the back.
Toe kick right to the spine of Christopher Daniels. Now Steen pushes him down. 2 count only for Kevin Steen. Back to work with that headlock. Like I said, a back to basics approach for Kevin Steen seems to be successful thus far in this match. Christopher Daniels looking for any form of escape that he can find. Now Christopher Daniels stomping his feet, trying to get the crowd behind him, maybe giving him a shot of adrenaline, trying to escape this side headlock by Kevin Steen. Kevin Steen content just to catch his breath while he's driving the breath out of the lungs of Christopher Daniels.
That's right.
You can see Christopher Daniels, his mouth is open. He's gasping for breath, it looks like. And Kevin Steen Christopher Daniels may be catching his breath, driving some elbows into the gut to the midsection of Kevin Steen. Kevin Steen going for a clothesline, and Christopher Daniels, Kevin Steen double clothesline landed from both men, and now both men are off their feet. El Generico may have been knocked out. I haven't seen him emerge from the floor since he took the neck breaker, the uppercut neck breaker by AJ Styles. And now Kevin Steen tagging out to AJ Styles. Christopher Daniels and AJ Styles for the first time will lock up in this match. Christopher Daniels has nowhere to go. No tag out for Christopher Daniels, and he's forced to go toe-to-toe in the center of the ring with AJ Styles. AJ Styles, though, getting the better of Christopher Daniels as the fresh man. And now a clothesline by AJ Styles, taking Daniels off his feet. A second clothesline, and then a leg lariat. AJ Styles, you can see the intensity written across the face of AJ Styles as he just goes to town on Christopher Daniels. That suplex-style neck breaker. He hooks the leg, he covers. 2 count only for AJ Styles.
And Kevin Steen is slow to get to his feet, and El Generico is nowhere to be found. But AJ Styles and Christopher Daniels. Daniels gets the boots up.
STO by Christopher Daniels, sweeps out the leg. 2 count only. AJ Styles able to kick out.
And now
Christopher Daniels in charge of this match just as quickly as AJ Styles came in. Christopher Daniels capitalizes with a picture-perfect Blue Thunder powerbomb. 2 count only. Kevin Steen on ringside looking at El Generico, I think checking to see if he's playing possibly a stomp to the head. You can see Kevin Steen, a bit of a smirk on his face.
Now standing on El Generico outside the ring.
And now AJ Styles reverses the shoot to the corner, or the shot to the corner by Christopher Daniels. Now Christopher Daniels reverses the reverse DDT, and now he hooks in and he catches it, the reverse DDT.
This could be
finds home. 1, 2 count only as Kevin Steen comes in and kicks AJ Styles right on the forehead to break up that pinfall attempt.
But Chris Daniels is now still the legal man and
tags himself in, and now going to work on AJ Styles. A chop to the chest of, and now AJ Styles is on the receiving end of some boots and some clubbing blows, but no, reverses into a German suplex. AJ Styles rolls through. He hooks him up. Face buster by AJ Styles. He's got the cover. 2 count only as Christopher Daniels comes in and breaks up the pinfall attempt.
Christopher Daniels, not the legal man in this match, but he gives a clothesline to AJ Styles.
And now Christopher Daniels, the uppercut. AJ Styles is just dazed, sitting on the top rope. You can see maybe trying to readjust his jaw. The cutthroat iconoclasm by Christopher Daniels. He covers. 1, 2 count only as Kevin Steen comes in and breaks it up. It seems that Rick Knox has lost control of this match as the pinfall attempts are coming in a fast and fevered pitch right here at Disco Machine.
That's right. And Kevin Steen throws Christopher Daniels out of the ring. And now in there with AJ Styles.
AJ Styles and Zukuri taking Kevin Steen off of his feet. AJ Styles, he sees that Kevin Steen is down, but he also sees that Christopher Daniels is on the outside of the ring. And a beautiful tope con, taking Christopher Daniels off of his feet, but also AJ Styles falling on partially falling on the padding, partially falling on the concrete floor, maybe driving the wind out of him. El Generico emerges from the ringside area back into the ring. Kevin Steen maybe with a dive of his own, running to the ropes. No. He comes in, hooks the leg, deep cover, 3 count. Kevin Steen wins the match.
Goddamn, I love me.